podcast where we talk too much. I know that's right, y'all. Today I'm so excited because I got my guy in the building, Keez. Y'all, this is one of my longtime friends, more like family. This guy is a super entrepreneur. I mean, he be outside, anything under the sun, he does it. And he's also newly married. He brought his wife out with us, my girl Ky. She is a stay-at-home mom. Wouldn't we all love the luxury of that, girl? Okay. And they brought their baby, Keez Ky. And we'll do a little preview later in the day. We're going to do a showing of the baby on reveal because he's so adorable, y'all. But anyway, let's get into it. So today's topic is going to be, what is love? What does it look? What does it think? And what does it feel like? And y'all, it's about that time of the month, so I've been in my feelings. So I'm ready to talk about this. Okay, I've been ready to talk about this. Anyways, okay, so let's get into it.
Let's do it.
What is love to y'all? Okay, let's start off with, where does love start, right? Where do we start with understanding like what love means?
Okay. So I hate to be that guy, right? But you know I love God, you feel me?
Yeah.
And for me, I always say, how can a person love you if God is love and they don't got God? I mean, and the reason I say that, people like be like, break it down, or I'm gonna break it down. So like, God is love. What does that mean? When you look at the Bible, right? It's all about how to be right. You feel me? So when it comes to the principles of love, where do we look to find the principles of love? Well, we look in the Bible. You feel me? It tell you how to treat people like yourself or better than yourself. It tell you how to turn the other cheek. You feel me? These are not worldly thought processes. You don't find these thought processes nowhere else. Ain't no a nigga in the street gonna tell you, no, kill that nigga, beat that nigga. You feel me? God gonna tell you turn the other cheek. Think about it. You feel me? Make a different decision. You get what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with people, whether it's family, friends, loved ones, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? That's how you learn how to love, I feel like.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I feel like that's a good outlook to have. Now, a lot of people feel like people having a relationship with God means that you know every single one of the 10 Commandments. And you read the Bible on the weekends on your free time. And for me, like me personally, I feel like it's more so just like someone who has their own relationship and their own connection with that higher being. You know what I'm saying? Someone who can be more spiritual too at the same time. You know certain things, certain aspects of the Bible, certain things of the word, you feel me, that's helping you to guide you, you feel me, and keep you on a straight path or whatever. Basically right from wrong, like you said, we're learning what's right from wrong in that way. So I definitely do agree, but I also want to emphasize too, from my perspective, that it doesn't mean that you are a church body, you know what I'm saying, or that you just listen to everything a pastor says, because there's a lot of corruption in churches too.
For sure.
Your temple that they're talking about, which is the church in the building, can also, you can think of it as your body being your temple, because we are one with God. You feel me? So there's many different ways and stuff to look at it. And
you feel me? Like you said, it's just about that, having that connection, knowing better, to do better, to want to be better. You feel me?
Yeah. But I also, would you like to add actually, Ky, to that? Where do you feel like love starts?
I would have to agree with my husband, like, for sure, with God.
Yeah.
I used to have this post on my Instagram. God is love. You don't got God. You really can't find the true meaning of love, for real.
Yeah. And I guess that definitely all aligns with how I feel as well. It's just that it starts with oneself, like, you know what I'm saying? And if we are one with God, then that will also correlate, So I feel like definitely it starts with ourselves. Like, a lot of times you feel like you learn to love somebody through the action of loving someone else. But as for me, I feel like it's more so learning how to love yourself, learn what you like, what you dislike. Because if you don't know how to love yourself correctly, how can you teach someone else how to love you correctly? So I feel like it's starting at home with you. But where do you feel like people learn the patterns from when it comes to love?
For
friends,
sure,
family,
their parents, for sure.
Okay.
Number one.
Okay.
And if their parents not in their life, whoever they're next close to, who they look up to, who they find interesting. My parents have been married in July 27 years.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
Right, they've been married since they were 17. So when I always look to them, they have the whole love story, high school sweethearts, for real. And then, not to mention, just my dad taking big steps for a young man.
Mm-hmm.
So he always been there. Yeah. And my mama always been there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I know. And they believe in God, so that's what I was taught. And that's how they loved each other. Trust me, they fight all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Knock down, drag out, for sure.
Right.
But they love each other, and you can see it. Exactly. Yeah, when they by each other, by themselves, and they know each other is not around, you can tell one another is looking out for each other. They care about each other, care what they think, care what they doing, even though it might not. The communication off, but they others can see the love they show for each other.
Right. And Keez, I know you wanted to say something earlier. Did you want to add to
that? For me, just like what y'all was saying, like where it could start. I it's not even me agreeing to disagree. It's actually me agreeing and just giving a different perspective. You feel me? I definitely agree. Start with your parents and shit for sure. But I also think like, especially because like y'all women, right? So y'all get influenced by the outside, but not as much as men. You see what I'm saying? Because men, like, everyone knows, and we know, even when we're young, that one day it's gonna be all on you. You see what I'm saying? And a whole family and everything is gonna come from you. You know what I'm saying? So like, men, we get to explore a little more when we're younger. You feel me? And a lot of times, I say, especially like for me, just because of the dynamic situation that I had growing up. I found a lot of love in the streets.
Yeah.
What I thought was love, though, you know what I'm saying? But like a lot of my first thought processes of what love was running the East Oakland streets. You feel what I'm saying? So it could come from, and then that's how, like, I'm not gonna say every man that come from the hood is a sassy nigga or is a broken man. But if you notice, if a man hasn't taken that actual time to take in that thought process, like, I'm traumatized. Like a lot of people from the hood, I feel like all of us in some way, we traumatized, you feel me, in different ways. And if a man don't take that chance, you feel me, to see that, like, man, I'm traumatized, you feel me, I got issues, like whether it be from your family, your cousins, your mama, or whatever the case may be, like a lot of motherfuckers really only see a certain type of love. Like, I'll give you an example, right? Like my situation growing up, I had my mom and dad the first, I would say, 9 to 10 years of my life. And always, my mom and dad still in my life to this day, but they divorced, right? They divorced when I was real young. And then, like, because of them being divorced and shit, it kind of like left us to the wolves. You feel me? Because these two individuals can't. All right, look, you got a 2-parent household, right?
Yeah.
You got complete structure. And y'all together so y'all could coincide on how the kids move, blah, blah, etc. So it's structure. Now imagine that structure break. You feel me? That's the foundation.
Yep.
So now everything else gonna go with it. You
Chaos.
feel what I'm saying? Chaos. You see what I'm saying? So that's how niggas end up finding love in different places and shit like that. You feel me? Because these two people going through whatever they going through, they not able to put that same energy into these children no more. You feel me? Even though they would love to, but they going through divorces, they in court, they trying to build their lives back, all type of shit. Put the kids in a position to find their own sources of love.
Yeah, and it's so, like, it makes so much sense that you put in that perspective, because it still goes back to love starting at home, with understanding that, yes, I did come from a solid foundation, but that foundation broke, and that changed the paradigm. The whole paradigm was a whole paradigm shift. You know what I'm saying? The whole dynamic. You feel me? And so now that love that I once got in this way that I was used to getting it has now changed for me in a time where my brain is still developing cognitively. You know, so my understanding of what love means is very all over the place now. And so I'm happy kind of that you told that story, because I wanted to ask you and then Kai, when she's able to come back on, just how your family dynamic has an impact on just marriage, or, you know, even your decision to pop the question to her, you know, just how it impacted that, you know, and how it kind of like has an impact on how y'all love each other, you know, and the decisions you make. Because some people may be like, oh, I don't know how to love, and other people might come into it where it's like, I'm gonna learn as best as I can because I know that was a difference in my life. When I was younger, it was a big shift for me, and it caused chaos in my life. So how to get back to that on that straight path of knowing what love is and being sure of yourself and sure of what you guys have, you know.
It definitely affects your future. Like I said, like a lot of I'm not even gonna just put it on men. I just say men because men are usually the ones who don't tap in with that side of themselves more. But in general, like a lot of human beings don't take that time to really address those ways that they weren't loved. You feel me? When they were younger, or because the shit, bro, I'm telling you, like, I'm gonna give you an example, right? My auntie was on drugs all my life, bro. As long as I known her, on drugs all my life. She just died like 2 years ago, froze under a bridge, bro. You feel me? The crazy part about the thing is, right, when she died, though, I didn't cry. I even tried to cry, you feel me? Because I loved her so much, and I used to have these deep conversations with her at these times where my mama we would get her, and she'd be trying to get off the drugs, and she'd come stay with us, you feel me? And she'd always tell me, like, that weed helped her stop going to do the drugs, you know, sometimes. So me being the little nigga that smoke weed, I'm a teenager, you feel me? But me being a kid, I'm like, shit, I'm gonna smoke as much of this weed with my auntie to keep her here, you feel me, right? And I was telling that to my wife, and when I said that shit, I broke down in tears. Grown man, you feel me? But I broke down in tears. That shit make me tear up right now, like, you feel me? It fucked with me though, you feel me? I had never really had that chance, you feel me, to let that shit out. And it was the love that I had for her, you feel me? And I had a lot of love for her. I just never got the chance to really express that shit. So when she died, I never got to cry. Then I just cried like years later, you feel me? Years later, the shit, you feel me, done. I done lived life since then and everything, but I sat down and cried, you feel me?
But you know what's so crazy about that story is that you said you hadn't cried about it for years, but when you were able to sit down with your wife and have that conversation, you were able to be vulnerable. You were able to feel like you had that love and that safe space to open up in the way that you wasn't able to before. You know, but seriously, like, really, that's real talk. That's real stuff. You know, that's what love will do for you, you know? And so that leads me into, like, what does love feel like? For one, you're saying right now, you know, like, indirectly, it feels safe. It feels like vulnerability, you know? Like, so what does love feel like? What do you think love feels like to you?
I'm gonna agree with you, and I'm gonna say some other stuff. Right, I'm gonna definitely say, like, it's a place of comfort and safety, right? A place that you could be vulnerable, a place that you could open up, right? You feel me? A place that, like, basically it's your safe haven from the world, right? When you're going through all these different things, but and that's with any person, you feel me? But I also feel like love is a responsibility. And I don't think a lot of people look at it like that way. Like, people be like, what would you rather have, love or loyalty? Well, I actually think that true love and loyalty are synonymous. Yeah, you see what I'm exactly like. It's a real love. When you have real genuine love, like, I'll give you an example, right? And I'm just using my wife because she here, right? All right. When let's say I'm buying us food, or like we bought food, and I'm like, we be buying these platters, you feel me? We live out of state, and where we live, it's this place called Gates Barbecue. And we'll buy these big ass platters, right? Come with all the different meats and fries and, you know, sides and everything, right? Well, let's say I'm splitting that shit up for us, right? You know, she dealing with the kids or whatever, you feel me? And I'm splitting the food up for us, right? In my head, this is real. Like, this is just one small, like, definition of real love. Like, I'm splitting this shit up, and I see already getting made the kids part, right? Let's say we got 5 more pieces of meat. In my head, the first thing to say is, I'm gonna take 3, right? I'm bigger than her. You feel me? I bought the food. I should take 3, right? But you know what I really gonna do?
What?
I usually give her the 3 and I take the 2.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Without her even knowing that I'm
Right.
doing that. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's because I love her like
Mm-hmm.
that. You see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like, it be times I don't want to give her the last
Mm-hmm.
of my food, but she like, babe. And I do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like, it's just because I love her. You feel
Yeah.
me? And I know she want it and whatever, right? It's food.
Right.
It's fucking,
and love is considerate. It's really bigger than that. That's nothing. Love is considerate. I'm considering you because I love you.
Exactly.
I'm considering
That's
how you
what
feel, what you need, what you want. You know, what you gonna think if I don't. You feel me?
Exactly.
Like all of those things.
Yeah.
That's love, you know. And another thing, I want to add to that is love is also not always just easy. A lot of people feel like love is going to be easy, but it's not. It takes time. It takes work. It takes effort. You feel me? From both parties. Whether it's a family relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship, you know, a friendship, whatever it is.
It takes effort.
It takes effort. You know, and when one person is not putting in as much effort as the other, then that's when that person starts to get drained, you know. And love really shouldn't be draining. Love should be consensual, and love should be given, you know, back and forth and received back and forth.
Most certainly.
You know, you have to water the other party so that, you know, they're filled, and they have to water you so that you're filled and you can flourish and grow.
Yeah, like hydroponics, man.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Okay, so you kind of already hit on what love thinks like when you gave your example of just like the chicken. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like as simple as that, the chicken. Okay, just talking about that and being considerate. You know, that's definitely love and what it thinks like. I think what it also thinks like is somebody just being on your mind too. You know, that goes back to consideration. You considering them, but just somebody thinking about you. You know, when they say the little things matter, that's really true. Like it'd be the littlest things. Another example is just like I'm gonna bring up this whole everybody talking about situation with the flowers on Instagram. They're talking about, oh, bitches don't even like flowers. Like, but women do like flowers. You feel me? Because it shows. It's an act of showing me that you consider me. Challenge question. All right, y'all. So I want to know, do you know the 5 love languages?
I didn't know it was 5.
I didn't know it was 5.
I didn't know it was specific 5. I just thought everybody had, because like, I just thought everybody had their own specific love language.
That's one. Yep.
Physical touch.
Yep, that's another one. So gifts, physical touch. Another
acts of service.
Yep, acts of service.
Oh my.
Okay.
Okay, I think I did know this.
Quality time.
Okay.
Quality
and
time.
Words of affirmation.
Okay.
Yep,
okay.
Yep,
I was gonna say talking or something.
Quality time, damn near talking.
You're right.
Communicate, my nigga. Right. Okay. So a lot of people don't look at it from this perspective though. There's a way where you receive, you know, this love language, and there's a way you give this love language, and everybody doesn't receive the way they give, and everybody doesn't give the way they receive.
Girl, we done learned that being married.
Yeah, so I want to start off with one. What's your love language and the way you like to give? How do you like to show that you love somebody?
I would have to say the way I show love. And also, I was kind of confused a little bit on the difference from showing love and receiving love. Yeah. But the way I show love is, I guess you could say acts of service. Because I want to cook for you. I want to cook for anybody. Yeah. If I love you, girl, come in my kitchen. Let me cook for you. And then, if you don't eat it, I'm going to be mad. So...
Right. Don't worry, they always eat it.
Right, so I ain't had to be mad yet. But I guess the way I receive love would have to be what is that? I guess acts of service.
I was about to say she like it the way she send it.
Acts of service.
And that's good that you know that, because some men don't know they women. So that's good. Okay. Okay. So Keez, acts of service, quality time, gifts, physical touch, or words of affirmation.
Touch me.
Give it to me just how you like it.
Yeah. But at the same time, all right, so like as far as giving it, I like doing acts of service.
Okay.
Or I like taking my wife out to eat and stuff. She like eating, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Like, right. But as far as receiving love, man, I like being touched. My wife's so soft. I like touch on me, love on a nigga, you know what I'm saying? This world crazy, caress a nigga.
Yeah. I feel like for me, I really like, I mean, of course we all like a mixture of them all, but if I had to pick the main ones, I would say
pick one first, and then we'll go into
quality time.
Quality time.
Because if you giving me your time, then I know that you really care, because time is of an essence. Y'all.
Right.
Like, time, we don't really got that much time in a day, especially if the motherfucker make time.
Right.
You know, if you making time, I know you busy and you making time, like, that's big, you know? But as far as how I am to show I love in relationships, definitely gift giving. Like, if I like you, I'm gonna want to buy you everything. I don't know why. Like, I just like, it's like when I go to the store, like the first thing I think about, oh, my kids need this. I'm trying to buy some salt for what I gotta cook or something. I'm in there buying clothes for my kids. Like, it's now like you're the next person on my line of people I want to get something for, you know. But when it comes to like family and stuff, I would definitely say acts of service. Like, my family loves for me to cook for them, for one. So maybe that's why I feel that way, because I know they love it. So I'm probably trying to give it how they love it, you know. So acts of service for them. But yeah, I think it's really important for people to know how others want to receive it, you know. And I feel like I agree with you. Like, I can definitely relate to that. Like, at first, I always wanted to just think that the way I give it is the way they want it, but that's not always the case. You know, some people don't care about getting a gift. Right. Like, I don't care about that. Come spend some time with me. Shoot, come give me a kiss or something.
I was about to say, that's his favorite. That's how he figured it out, because he had to figure out what type of girl I was. Do she like gifts? Let me see if I give her this.
Yep.
Is she gonna like it? That's what you was doing?
You know, you gotta feel out to test the waters, man.
Right. Teach the world. They all need to know the answers. Okay. All right. So I want to know, why do y'all feel that a lot of older or long relationship, couples say that you're gonna fall in and out of love with each other?
Ooh, I knew this was question was when we was talking in the hall. I said, I know she's gonna act something like that. That's crazy. Ooh, I'm gonna get you with this one. All right, you ready? So, I don't believe if you really love somebody, you're gonna fall out of love. My mama and daddy divorced, and they like best friends. They talk on the phone almost every day. Like, I call my pops, "What you doing?" "Yeah, I got your mama on the other line." I call my mama, "What you doing?" "Nothing, talking to your dad." You know what I'm saying? So you'll never fall out of love with somebody that you really, truly, genuinely love, right? But why people say that is because
you will strongly dislike this person.
Man, listen, bro. You will feel like you don't love him in that moment. Like, hey, look, I hate this nigga right now. And you be like, man, this bitch fucked up. You feel me? But no, it really do get that way, just because, like, you're not always going to agree with somebody. You always in somebody's space. They always in your space. Y'all live together. You feel me? Then y'all got kids, so y'all can't date as much as y'all used to date. Y'all can't. You know what I'm saying? Things change and things constantly change. So nothing's ever the same. It's never the way it was. Never. Like, never. It's never the way it was when you first started.
Right.
And that it's called a point of disillusionment.
My grandma called it the honeymoon stage.
No, that's what the beginning,
Yeah,
but the part that I'm talking about, it's
so
called.
Tell me what that means. I haven't heard that one yet.
It's basically when something isn't everything that you thought it was supposed to be. Not saying that it's bad.
Right.
It's just like a lot of people just see it like the white picket fence, and once I get married, that's the end all.
They romanticize it.
No, it do not work that way, bro. The marriage that you want, the love that you want, and this with relationships and romantic relationships and all other ones.
You gotta create it.
You have to create the relationship that you want with that person, and it take both of y'all to do that.
Yep. The grass is greener where you water it.
Exactly. It's not greener on the other side. Because listen, you could jump to the other side where it's green pastures, and it really is beautiful over there. And then as soon as you step over there, it start browning. No.
Right.
Oh, mama,
that That too.
But usually it's that. Maybe it was greener. Maybe it was nice over there. Maybe this person, but maybe it's you.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to fix some on your side. But,
I didn't look at it like that. That was a good one. Sometimes it do be that person. Everywhere you touch, everything you touch, you know, goes to cobblestone, dies. Exactly.
You ever heard of the Tyrone rat experiment? Real quick, just real quick.
Go ahead.
All right, so the Tyrone rat experiment. This was a real experiment they did. Okay. All right, so one of the experiments they did, they put some fleas in a jar, and then they put a cap on the jar. Right before they put the cap on the jar, the fleas was jumping out the jar, jumping high and everything. Right, they put a cap on the jar. Then they opened the cap. The fleas only knew to jump as high as the cap had been on the jar. Okay, they did an experiment with rats. Right, the white rats. Right. These rats all had came, rats, thousands of babies, hundreds of babies at a time, right? So all of these hundreds of thousands or whatever of babies, right, all had came from the same parents, had the same genetics, everything, right? What they did was they put half of the rats in a place that was really nice. It was spacious. They had more than enough space to eat, to sleep, fresh food, everything. The other side was a desolate situation. They put them rats in. First of all, all the food and water was poison. You feel me? They put them in a place where they was on top of each other, barely got enough space and everything. Look, listen to what happened. The rats in the good enclosure, they treated each other good. They shared food. They ate good. They slept long. All the stuff, right? The rats in the other enclosure start raping each other. Literally start committing homosexuality. The older rats would come and rape the little younger rats. You feel me?
Slaves in the Atlantic
they come stealing from each other and everything. You feel what I'm saying? So what would be an environmental change got to be an interchange inside of you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of people don't take that change, so they'll never learn the levels of love.
Okay, let's get into what is a misconception of love. And I want to throw out a word because I feel like this is a major one, and that's just like the more toxic you are, the more you love somebody. And I'm really hating that whole just like concept right now because they got a lot of people are idolizing, in popular culture, like Krishan and Blueface, and stuff like that, where they fight each other and beat each other up, and everybody thinking like, oh well, shit. He loved me. He did this or he did that or oh he said he finna come do this or she said she finna do that or she blowing up my phone or whatever. And it's just like I feel like that's the biggest one to me is the more toxic you are, the more love you have for somebody. I think that's a lie and not the truth at all.
No.
Big lie.
I want to just start off by saying what Krishan and Blueface have is infatuation. Like they probably just. I feel like she just like him because he got her rich and she probably do that little tight thing with the grippy thing with her coochie, like you say. I don't know, but
they're doing Kegels and shit.
Another misconception of love I would say would be how when people just think it's supposed to be perfect. Love is not perfect. Loving your mama not perfect, your brother, your sister, nobody. I feel like people don't have enough patience. People think they patient, but if they was as patient if they say they were, they would not be arguing and upset with people. Don't get me wrong, people do press them buttons and we'll take it there. But so do you.
You definitely do got to have a lot of patience, like, because a part of the disillusionment stage, and this is where a lot of relationships end. Almost every, like literally like 90% of relationships end in the disillusionment stage. And that's when you realize, oh, it ain't what I pictured or thought this was going to be. And the reason is because you don't have patience to see it change. You don't have patience to put in the effort and actually trust that it's going to change, that it's going to work out. You feel what I'm saying? So definitely that.
All right, so it's about to be time for us to get out of here, but I definitely want to touch on this last topic, and that is, what do you guys feel like the difference is between having love for someone and being in love with someone?
Well, having love for people is like what I was saying to you earlier. Like, you want to see them good, you want to see them straight. You think about them sometime. You know what I mean? Whenever you see them, it's always good. It's always great. But like being in love is a different thing. Like you feel like you have a different obligation to them. Like you feel connected to them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different level of intimacy. You know what I mean? You want things from them that you don't want from nobody else. You want to give them things that you don't want to give nobody else. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like being in love is like it's a connection. You know what I mean? And if you really in love with somebody, it's a lifelong connection. You feel me? Like I just said, I'll give you a perfect example because people don't always stay together. A perfect example. Her parents still together in love. My parents not together, still in love. You see what I'm saying? And that's what it really is. It's a connection. It's something that can't never go away.
That was a beautiful way of explaining that. That was good.
For sure.
Okay, Kai, you want to add to that?
I would have to agree. I also believe you can have love for someone, and not like them, not want to see them. So, yeah. What he said.
Right. I'm like, I don't even feel like I can compare to that. That was good. That was for real. And I really connected with that though. On just that, like, that everlasting connection, and just also just like wanting to do things for them that you don't want to do for other people. And I don't even have to be sexual things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just all things, you feel me? And the level into which you thinking about that person. Like, yeah, I surface level think about my mom, my sisters, my brothers, and all them every day. My dad, I think about them every day. But a nigga I'm in love with, like, I'm really thinking about you, nigga. Like, FBI. It's like you're literally glued to my mind. So it's like, yeah, I definitely
can I ask you something? Speaking of being FBI, he used to be like, I'm crazy because I used to put him on Do Not Disturb. Yeah. So he would think I have another nigga. But no, nigga, I'm trying not to stalk you. Do you feel that? Do you put niggas on Do Not Disturb? I'm tripping.
I mean, I could get where both of y'all coming from, because it's like you trying to stop yourself. You mad that I keep saying that, right? Because I can see everybody's perspective, but I've been saying that all day. I've been seeing their perspective with everything. Yeah, so look, literally, I feel like in one end, it's like, yeah, you trying to stop yourself from really going all in and really just being hella just like deeply there, especially if you don't know in the beginning where that other person head is at. Right. You feel me? But then on the other end, and he probably like, damn, I'm trying to love you. I'm trying to like you, and you blocking me. You blocking your blessing right now.
It's funny because that's exactly how it was. Like, man, hey, you acting crazy, and I'm trying to love you.
See? And you trying to get mad at me when I first said I get where y'all coming from. Now you like, you spot on. Like, literally, I see where y'all coming from. But okay, that was so fun. I'm so happy y'all came out to Quit Talking Podcast where we talk too much on it. I had such a fun time. But before we go, I would like to know, do y'all have anything going on, anything coming up that you want to share with the world? Because they want to know. Okay.
I'm about to drop a clothing brand, y'all. Shoes and clothes.
Yes.
Long in the making. Clothing brand. So yeah.
Yes. And do you have
and make sure, man, look, man, shout out to my nigga Marty Bands, man. Make sure y'all go buy some Pouty Donuts.
Period.
Raised by Kanisha.
Yes. Shout them out. Come on. Yes. Is there any would you guys like to share any of your social media platforms, anything like that?
Big Keez _authentic 16. Big Keez _authentic 16.
Yes. And it's tagged below, so you guys make sure y'all go check him out so that you can get in touch with that clothing brand and see also the pages they just shout out. All right, y'all. Well, until next time, make sure you tune the fuck in and never tune out.